Hey, folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Friday, September 26th. The Pittsburgh Steelers, if you haven't heard, are playing in Ireland on Sunday. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about the NFL's plans for international domination and whether you, as a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers, should think this is a good thing or bad thing. I've seen a lot of comments on social media about some fans frustrated by the fact that the Steelers are giving up a home game to play the Vikings in Dublin on Sunday. Let's get into all of this and talk about the one way that I think this really does become a win-win for both the NFL, the Steelers, and Steelers fans. So when the NFL made the change from a 16-game to a 17-game regular season, the one thing they added in there is that each team must give up a home game for an international date at least every 8 years. So Steelers fans that want to go to the games in Pittsburgh, they have still gotten all the normal games in Pittsburgh that they got before. Those 8 games that they had before have all still been there. The only thing the Steelers lost is a 9th game once again every 8 years. And they had that game before. It was just a preseason game. So what they've lost is one preseason game over an 8-year span. I think everyone would be okay with even less preseason games. Certainly the season ticket holders I talk to really hate paying full price for those. So that's all the Steelers have given up. Steelers fans have lost. You have a game that kicks off at 9:30 in the morning or 9 in the morning Eastern time. I suppose that's a mild inconvenience. But what is the gain for the Steelers and Steelers fans? Obviously, the Rooney family has a large tie to Ireland there with former ambassador Dan Rooney and their continued involvement in things like the Ireland Fund. And certainly there's a family connection there that is deeply meaningful. And I don't want to poo-poo that, but I don't really know why the Steelers fans should care that the Rooney family has been fulfilled by playing a game in their homeland. I mean, if Bob Nutting was from Kazakhstan, I wouldn't feel good about the Pirates playing a game there, right? The current Penguins ownership has been from Boston. I really don't want them to play there. Why do we care? Why should this be a good thing? And I think here's really where it is incumbent on the NFL and the Steelers, but really the NFL, because they're the ones driving the bus here, on getting this right. How does the Steelers playing a game in Ireland end up being a benefit to the fans in Pittsburgh? Here's how. The Steelers have a chance to create a captive audience in the country of Ireland. They're the only team with marketing rights throughout the entire island of Ireland, including both the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. They were the first team to have marketing rights in Ireland. They're going to be the first team to play an international game in Ireland. They're also the only other team that's ever played a preseason game there, except for their opponent in 1997, the Chicago Bears. Clearly, the Steelers are pouring a lot of resources into connecting with the fans in Ireland. And I think that's a really smart move for a lot of reasons. First of all, there are a lot of other teams that are competing for international fans in other places. The Steelers do have this connection that they can rely on. Ireland has the advantage of being linked linguistically. They do have historic language, Gaelic, that some people speak, but almost everyone in Ireland speaks English, which is a big deal. When you think about which European soccer leagues are big in America, the English league, compared to its success against, say, the German league and the Italian league, much more popular in America than it is good, right? It's popular because of the language barrier or the lack thereof. And so you have a potential fan base that speaks the same language, that shares this connection. There's 7 or 8 million people in Ireland. It's not the biggest country, but that's enough to matter. And the Steelers could really make Ireland a small outpost of Steelers fans, much the way that there are a lot of Steelers fans in Mexico. We talk a lot on this channel, both here on this show and with Smitty, about how the Steelers are impacted by not just being in a small market, which doesn't really matter that much in the NFL, but by the Rooneys being a family-owned team and not a club that is owned by someone who made their billions somewhere else and kind of owns their NFL team like it's a plaything. Right? The finances of the Steelers are very different than a team like, say, the Carolina Panthers, owned by a billionaire David Tepper, the Cleveland Browns, right? Those teams have those teams' owners have money coming in from outside of their NFL business that they can pour into their NFL business. The Steelers just don't have, which is where leveraging their popularity into money becomes a big deal. If the Steelers can create an entire fan ecosystem in Ireland and have those fans paying for, merchandise, paying for, to watch games internationally, paying for tickets, flying to Pittsburgh, like creating revenue for the Steelers with a secondary fan base in Ireland, it would be a huge win for the franchise. And they have to give up these games anyway. Here's what the Steelers fans should really, really root for, is that every 8 years the Steelers play a home game in Ireland. And that they create a fan base in Ireland. And that fan base helps the Steelers win by providing the team revenue. That would be a win for Steelers fans that would be worth giving up a home game once every 8 years for. But they have to go back for that to happen. They can't play one regular season game in Ireland and think that that is going to create a fan base there. They have to keep going back. I think they should probably try to go more than once every 8 years, because I think it's worth that level of investment. Now, the Steelers have a lot of Mexican fans, and they have a desire to play in Mexico. They have a marketing agreement in Germany, and they have a partnership with Borussia Dortmund, which I think will eventually result in them playing a game there. But this is the one that feels like it could really be a thing. Every other NFL game feels like popcorn. Hey, we're going to play a game here. Why? I don't know. Nobody really knows. There are people here that are fans of the league. They're not really fans of either of these teams. The Steelers have the ability to turn a game in Ireland into a home game without any people from America coming over, right? That I don't really think what other team has that potential right now, as we sit here right now in 2025. I don't think there's another team that feels like it is that close to capturing a captive audience for that team, concentrated in one geographic location from another country. Like, that is unique and special. Something that Steelers could have in Ireland that I don't think any other NFL team could really hope to have. And that is why I think this is worth doing. And that's why I think it's worth going back. And so I really hope that the NFL does not decide that, hey, look, the Steelers are one of the most popular teams, and every time we have a new market, let's send the Steelers to Spain, let's send the Steelers to Japan, let's send the Steelers to Qatar, let's send the Steelers to wherever, Rome, I don't know. Let them keep going back here. Let them build something. Let them create a nation of Steelers fans outside of the United States. And I think this will become something that will be beneficial to not just the Rooney family, not just the NFL, and not just the Pittsburgh Steelers, but that it will become to the point where fans will be able to see the benefit of it as well, because that would be a big shot in the arm for a team that does not have overflowing billions coming from the owner's box down into the club, to really leverage its popularity in a different and unique way. So that's what I am hoping comes out of this journey to Ireland. Let me know what you guys think. Are you okay with this journey? Are you upset by the fact that the Steelers are losing a home game? Are you mad that you have to wake up in the morning to watch the Steelers play? Or do you just not care? Let me know in the comments. More with me, Smitty, and a brief appearance from DB. We'll give our predictions for the game on tonight's episode of Steelers Afternoon Drive as well. 6 p.m. Stay tuned for that. Until next time, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and enjoy.